You stumbled into a podcast, believe it or not. It's the Binge-Watchers podcast with Johnny Spoiler, yours truly. I only spoil the movies that I love. Joined as always by the savage scream queen herself, Jordan Savage.
That's me. That's me.
If it's your first time taking the ride, thank you for buying a ticket. If you're back for seconds, get up in that saddle and let's ride. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeehaw.
Yeah, yeehaw.
Crack open a cold box of wine or pour something cold on ice because it's the Binge-Watchers podcast.
Bingers. Tonight's episode is brought to you by AdamEve.com. You can get 50% off plus free shipping and free rushing with BW Pod is the code. Or you can also visit our friends at Manscaped for 20% off the manscaping right now with the same code, BW Pod. BW Pod all over the internet for great offers. But before we get into this Crazy Monkey on the Loose movie and our favorite bits from this Crazy Monkey movie, and before we get into the home video headlines and Jordan Savage stats, we're going to back it up a little bit because, you know what? 'Tis the season, all right? And we're going to play a little game. We're going to evaluate the worst sexy Halloween costumes of 2023 as brought out by the Mary Sue, which is a good website. Don't look it up right now because you're listening to our podcast. Don't leave us yet. We're gonna go through this list. There's like 10 or 14 of them. Here we go. All right. First up is, what is it called, Jordan?
Sassy Cynthia.
Sassy Cynthia, which we've derived or determined that it's based on Nickelodeon's Rugrats, like a doll from one of the characters in Rugrats, and Jordan knows who it is.
Cynthia. Yeah, with Angelica is the little girl's name who has Cynthia, and Cynthia is a rather rundown character. So
except the costume isn't. It's a yellow dress with
cute.
Like a red choker, red straps, and well, the frizzy blonde hair, I guess, is from the doll in the show, but the costume's still sexy. So is it like misrepresented? You're saying the doll's Raggedy Ann or whatever style, and here the costume's too sexy.
That's what makes it the worst, is that it's not raggedy, right? Because Cynthia's run down, and in my opinion, so.
She's got some mileage, the real Cynthia, is what you're saying. The Cynthia doll. All right.
She's, got some use.
Hand-me-down doll or something like that.
She was loved. She was loved.
Up next is the Hamburglarette, or the Hamburglar. I guess a man could wear this costume. Why not? I mean, it's a two-piece, but sure. I mean, we're not going to limit this to gender, all right? It's just a nice costume. It's got pinstripes like the gel uniform from the Hamburglar at McDonald's. I'm sure they call it something else. Like if you try to order the thing, I'm sure McDonald's would sue them if they actually sold a costume called the Hamburglar.
They call it Sexy Burger Bandit.
The Burger Bandit?
Yeah. And I was hoping this one was going to make the list because I've definitely seen it out there. And I'm like, why would you want to be the Hamburglar? But it's giving all the pieces with the cape.
This satisfies so many levels, right? Because, like, look, you get the Hamburglar suit. Everybody loves Hamburglar. Right? And if you get your partner to wear this costume, you're also going to get a cheeseburger at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? Like, you win either way. You're going to get a good meal and a good costume.
I don't know. I feel like I can taste the dehydrated onions when I look at the costume.
The dehydrated onions. Oh, man. Now, the third one's a little bit scary because I feel like I've seen Mario and Luigi as costumes, right? However, it's usually worn by couples. Like I've seen the man as Mario and the girl as Luigi. I've seen same-sex couples, both men and women, rocking Mario and Luigi. Which I mean, in the cartoon and the video games, I think they're brothers. That's why it's weird.
It's a little weird that they're siblings.
It's not sexy. I don't find the plumber suit sexy at all here, folks. This is like a really crappy. I mean, could just be this version of the Mario costume. Maybe there's better costumes out there, but.
It's not sexy enough, in my opinion. Yeah, it's not sexy enough. The shorts need to be shorter. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of overalls, if it was like a skirt overall hybrid or something.
Ooh, there you go.
Right. However, from the same video game, the Yoshi costume. All right. I mean, it's a female model in the picture, guys, but whatever. But this is a very sexy Yoshi. And I don't know if Yoshi is unisex girls. I think in the games, Yoshi's always been a boy, except for, is there a pink Yoshi, which is a girl? I don't know. There's like a turquoise Yoshi. Well, now there's a whole family of Yoshis. So I imagine there's got to be a Yoshette out there or something.
I hope the boobs come with the costume, but that's just me. So
like something that pushes up that part of the costume, or you want to
just like the actual boobs.
Oh, okay.
No, come with the chest piece.
That would be a very expensive costume if implants came with it. So
next time.
What's next? Number 5. Oh, here we go. The Saint Nick, the sexy Saint Nicholas with a ball slinger. That's what Santa's slinging it. A Santa slinger. I don't know what else you would call the banana hammock.
Ho ho ho! If you know
he's got some kind of, I don't know. It's like he's got stockings. He's got like stockings on as well, but they're cut out like chaps.
Yeah,
like cowboy chaps, but the Christmas version, the Santa version. And of course, he's got the stocking on his head. Why not? And the thing holding up his Santa belt looks like leather straps. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does it pass go? Could be.
Yeah, I guess.
Could be a couple's costume. I'm sure there's going to be orders of this one this year.
Yeah. Sexy Christmas, I guess. Oh, we've got.
Pick your jaw off the floor, Jordan. She was distracted for a second there, folks. I don't know what happened. Pennywise has a costume. Usually it's ugly, but this one's not too bad. I think it fits the sexy list. Is it the worst of the sexy? Probably not. Somewhere in the middle. It's, I don't know. It's like the It that we've seen recently here in the mid 2000s, late 2000s with the new Pennywise, but it doesn't have. This is just a woman in makeup. So it doesn't have the creepy clown mask. I mean, that might deter some folks, unless that turns them on. I don't know. Maybe they want the mask instead of the makeup. Who knows? Moving on. This is Fresh Farmer. I had to scratch out some of the logos because she's growing a green plant. Fill in your imagination on what kind of plant she's growing. There's nothing wrong with a sweet Miss Farmer. Like the farmer, that's a classic costume.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
Down on the farm. Call me in for supper. It's supper time. You know what I'm saying?
That cowbell, you know?
Yeah, ring the cowbell. Let's go. This one's funny. If you could turn Jigsaw into a sexy costume, Jigsaw from the Saw movies, why not? I mean, it's kind of formal wear, right? Could go to a black tie dinner. Like
it's business on the top and party on the bottom, you know?
Approved.
Yes.
This one is a little bit odd. So this dress has very hard to see, but this dress is kind of like maroon colored, is flesh toned, but then if you look closely, it's like fish scales on the dress because that's literally what the costume is described as, the fish. Does it accentuate female body parts that we might associate with things from the sea? I don't know. However, it's not a mermaid costume.
Not at all.
You wouldn't necessarily want to buy a costume called the fish, right?
No. Yeah,
which might imply you're not fresh.
Yeah.
You shouldn't buy a costume called the fish.
Definitely.
However, it's not very fishy looking. Like, first of all, if it's called the fish, you would think it'd have scales, maybe a mermaid tail. It's just that the fish scales on the dress, you know, so this one sucks. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
The worst.
Stay away. Far. And and again, people are imagining, if you're only listening and not looking at the images on the video simulcast or the YouTube version, whatever, if you're digging this up, if you're just listening or you're going to the article, then you could find the picture. But again, they're stock photos, so I don't mind sharing them with everybody. But if you're just listening, you maybe are imagining like a sea creature, which would be much cooler. And if fish are your thing, if you're attracted to the sea, if you're a sailor man, maybe like an actual fish would do it for you. But this thing sucks.
Yeah, if you're listening, your imagination is doing a lot better than what the actual
costume
costume is giving. So
does the next one redeem itself? Probably.
I was impressed with this one.
The pasties, folks, are handcuffs.
Yes.
Handcuff pasties. This one should be on the best sexy list, not the worst sexy costume list, because it's very inventive.
It is.
If the last one was boring and not inventive and not ingenious, this one has a little bit of ingenuity behind it.
Handy.
So it's a pinstripe jailbait suit from like the 1940s prison or something like you see in movies. You've seen it in a freaking Elvis movie. Like, what is his song? Jailbait? What is
Jailhouse Rock?
Jailhouse Rock, yeah. So the classic Hollywood pinstripe suit, but garter belts held up by
the handcuffs.
And
then the handcuff pasties.
Handcuff pasties somehow. And it's and a full-figured woman, no less. So you're all represented here. And it's fucking awesome. It's
got the cutouts in all the right places. So this one is a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. Yeah. This one's the next one's a true dog, though.
Oh my gosh.
Inspired by Austin Powers. It's the Austin Powers sexy costume.
It hurts my eyes.
I mean, I guess it could qualify as a fembot from one of the movies, but no, I mean, it would be funny to see Mike Myers in this outfit in one of the Austin Powers movies just for the hell of it, just for a gag, but as a Halloween costume.
Chest hair like coming out of everywhere.
Yeah. Which would do better than this. Yeah.
Yeah. But this one hurt my eyes. Yeah, they did a really good job of nailing his actual costume, but think of briefs. Yeah.
This next one is called the Sexy Vampire Singlet, which is a wrestling term. So it's the sexy wrestling vampire or sexy vampire wrestler. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but it's still a fun costume. So the top half is Dracula and the bottom half is a wrestler. And you combine the two. I'd love to see I don't know if a pro wrestler dude has ever gone out like this, but that would be crazy on like a Halloween wrestling match to come out half Dracula, half wrestler. Again, if there's a man in your life, you could order this costume. I guess girls could wear it too. It might be unisex. I don't know. Final thoughts on this one, Jordan?
It would not leave a lot to the imagination on the top, but I've seen more wild things, so yeah.
Now this is again. Maybe I'm influenced by the voluptuous model who's adorning the outfits. I don't know. It's kind of swaying my judgment here, but
it looks great.
She's dressed as a fishing person or fisher. She's got a rod, a reel, or whatever. She's got the hat, got the outfit. Nothing wrong with it. Little country costume for you. And the last one's kind of ridiculous. So it's just called the Hot Flasher, which is just a flesh-colored
bodysuit.
Bodysuit, and a trench coat.
But it's got pixelation over the tops and the bottom piece. So
listen, if you're the wrong person wearing it at the wrong time or the wrong Halloween party, you're gonna get arrested. That's all there is to that.
Yeah, this one is risky. So
now
definitely makes the list.
On to the home video headlines. I know you're dying out there to get to them, folks. You want to get past the sexy costumes. Let's see what's going on. Barry Levinson is directing a movie called Assassination with Al Pacino. I thought Al Pacino was retired, but whatever. They're going to explore JFK's. I'm having a weird time enunciating stuff tonight. Whatever. Okay, so it's about JFK's assassination, but from the perspective of one of the Chicago families that had to take out a contract on JFK. So this is a speculative movie, right? This is not like necessarily history. There's a JFK movie that I think Oliver Stone made with man, who's the guy from his name is escaping me. He's in The Bodyguard. Kevin Costner. I should have said his first movie that comes to mind is The Bodyguard, not Yellowstone. Not like Dancing with Wolves. Whatever. All right. Anyway, so Kevin Costner was in a JFK movie, and that one was really good because that was about the trial with the CIA guys that were supposedly like insinuating that the government had a part to play in it, right? I don't need another JFK movie, and I don't need I've seen Al Pacino in the TMZ videos lately. He looks geriatric. He looks like he can't carry a movie, and he looks confused half the time when the flashing lights at him. So I feel like, he's on the wrong side of acting now. I mean, obviously he's a national treasure or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You watch him in, let's see, what's an Al Pacino movie I like? Cruising? You thought I was going to say Scarface or freaking, I'm trying to make people uncomfortable with their feelings tonight. What's another big Al Pacino movie? Oh, Heat. Yeah, Heat's pretty good. Yeah. Roku has decided to renew 3 reality shows called Reptile Royalty, UFO Cowboys, and Lincoln Log Masters. The only reason I included these in the headlines is because I want to take apart the titles. Reptile Royalty, UFO Cowboys, and Lincoln Log Masters. Now streaming on the Roku channel. Reptile Royalty.
What?
It's about a family that owns a reptile zoo. It's like right on the nose.
Okay, so it's like Tiger King, but with snakes.
And with snakes and creepy crawlies. Yeah. And UFO Cowboys. The guys in real life, their organization is called Cowboy Skywatchers, and they investigate UFOs and paranormal activity. But then Roku's like, hey, let's change the title. Actually, these are probably shows bought from other networks that are now just streaming on Roku.
Right.
But I mean, why did they leap from Cowboy Skywatchers to UFO Cowboys?
Okay, both sound incredibly cool, but I don't know why I love UFO Cowboys better. Like, I just see boots and a vest and spurs and stuff with like...
The next one is not very imaginative, like some of the costumes we watched earlier or saw earlier. Lincoln Log Masters. There in the 50s, there was a board game or whatever. Lincoln Logs, like you stack these little wooden logs, and that was the game. They've made a whole show about it now, where apparently they're building log homes based on a blueprint of the Lincoln Logs game.
Darn it. I was thinking something else.
He said, darn it. That's
I'm sorry. I was thinking,
no, that's perfect.
Thinking like mini mansions out of the Lincoln Logs instead, like using the actual toys to like create these like little miniatures, but cool.
Oh no, like awesome. A miniature building competition or something. That would be even better. No, this is just like guys thinking. That love Lincoln Logs and now they build
homes
according to, which seems like like you shouldn't do that because I'm sure like not that safe to just base your building.
Watch every season of Alone,
Every season of Alone, yeah. The Game of Thrones actor Kit Harington played Jon Snow. In Game of Thrones. He was some people's favorite character, mine included. Although some people have beef with him because, he technically, spoiler alert, kills the love of his life in the final season because she becomes a tyrant. Anyway. Just ruined it for anybody that hasn't gotten to season 9 or whatever.
You know what? And if you haven't at this point, what are you doing?
What's wrong with you? Yeah, the show is 10 years old. Yeah. He's going to be in a BBC adaptation of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Mummy Tale. Spooky, appropriate tale for the seasons. It's about mummy monsters. Let's go. Investigating ancient Egypt. I don't know. And a mummy's curse. I'm down for it.
Me too.
Sneaking a mummy movie every once in a while. Ridley Scott supposedly... I was trying to figure out if this was a bogus story or if this was actually news. A lot of websites, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, Screen Rant, a lot of them caught up on this story where Ridley Scott supposedly saw a cut of the new Alien movie, which is called Alien Romulus, made by Fede Alvarez. He did the Evil Dead movie in 2013, and he created the Don't Breathe horror movie series about the blind murderer. Have you seen any of those where the guy can't see, but he's like a psychopath? Oh, well, he's like a trained... He's like a vet that has these crazy ideas about... In the first movie, he's like trying to replace his daughter that was killed in like a hit and run. So then he kidnaps the other person who did the hit and run and but then wants her to make new children. Or it's kind of crazy. And like the first movie, people break into his house and then he fights them and they're like trapped in his house or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. The second one, I'm led to believe it's like he has the child, whatever, and he's like trying to raise the child that was created, right? In the first movie. I assume that's what it is, but they kind of make it more of an anti-hero. The second one, I'm like, oh, they love the character too much. They decided he's not a psychopath. I don't. Anyway, haven't seen the second one, but that came out recently. Don't Breathe. It's a controversial horror movie. Check it out. Very psychological. Good actors, though. Where are we? Oh, that's it for the headlines, man. We're going to jump into Savage Stats. We're going to talk about
Shakma, yeah. Shakma, the movie for tonight, is about students that are trapped with a testy baboon while playing a fantasy game in a research building. For some savage stats for you tonight, Shakma is played by the baboon named Typhoon. Typhoon also played the baboons in The Fly, 1986. There were no female baboons on set. Typhoon had an alpha and a beta trainer. So the beta trainer was on the opposite side of the doors, whispering Typhoon's name, which angered him. Typhoon believed the lead trainer was above him in terms of pecking order. So that and then the assistant trainer is lower. So Typhoon would obey the trainer's commands, where the activity coming from the assistant trainer would be viewed by Typhoon as like provocation, being provoked. And he believed that the assistant trainer was essentially trying to take his place in the pecking order.
So he saw his trainers also as monkeys, but the lead trainer as like the alpha monkey, right? And then he saw the assistant trainer as like a bitch monkey.
Yes.
So like this monkey's trying to take my place on the totem pole or whatever. That's hilarious. But also, I mean, the monkey loses his shit in this movie. He really is going nuts. And for the most part, it's a real monkey. So they really pushed him to the edge. And like, I don't know. I mean, well, obviously 1990 probably has like less stringent like animal laws for filmmaking or something. But like the monkey's out of his damn mind for half the movie. And the movie's only like 90 minutes. So he's like running full sprint into walls and doors for like 70 minutes or something, or 60 minutes of this movie.
Right.
So their little training technique to confuse them obviously worked.
Super wild. And that does bring us good segue into the next fact, is that there is both animatronic and puppetry in play in certain stunts. I'm super curious to try to figure out like what is what, because it only feels like
a couple giveaways.
Well, it feels like the camera angle, and it's always underneath, but I don't know. So
when the baboon flies through the glass of the...
that makes
I'm not going to say where he flies through the glass. He flies through glass at some point. That's the animatronic. The puppetry, I guess, was for like when the paws are clawing some of the victims.
That makes sense. And it's like through the doors too. You know, they wouldn't want to injure, obviously, Typhoon. Yeah. So obviously...
But time out, though. Typhoon, a much scarier name than Shakma. You could have just named the movie after the monkey. However, I sat down. That was my initial reaction, was like, he has a crazier name, name the movie that. But then I thought, actually, no, because they say the word Shakma out loud in the movie, talking to the monkey in the movie. And if the monkey reacted to his real name while they were talking to the actors, I'm sure that'd have been a problem.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, and already the cast interaction was super limited because the real baboon would go like enraged during this.
Literally the term ape shit. Like,
literally ape shit. And so you're right. Like if they were using his real name in the script, then he would probably be triggered by that. And then, I mean, everybody would be in danger, you know, because he is... This baboon is going literally full out in these scenes. So the cast includes Roddy McDowall of Planet of the Apes fame and the original Fright Night series.
My man Peter Vincent, the vampire killer. He's not a vampire killer in this movie. He's just like a professor of crazy monkey science, like who also enjoys playing D&D with his students. I don't know.
Yes, I did find that a kind of fun little plot part, but
super inappropriate, dude. But yeah. I mean, they have They have like an elaborate LARPing game, right? That's what they call it today, like where you act out the role play. But they like have a computer screen. They've synchronized when to lock down rooms.
This would also be like in college too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all age appropriate. They're not like high school students or anything, you know.
Well, there's one questionable character's age. We don't know. She makes it a point to tell the guy, not as young as you think I am.
Right.
Don't treat me like a child. But is she 18, 19?
Right. Questionable.
Everybody else is like mid-20s. Yeah, we don't know about that one character. Yeah.
We have Christopher Atkins in this movie from Blue Lagoon.
Which is now a controversial movie based on the age of the actors involved in romantic scenes in that movie. with Brooke Shields, like was his co-star.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he's a good actor.
And then we also have Amanda Wyss. So she is, of course, known as Freddy Krueger's first victim, Tina.
Tina.
On screen in Nightmare of Elm Street, 1984. She has appeared in 2 films that have been selected for the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. That's Fast Times of Ridgemont High, 1982, and A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984.
So we'll be right back with our favorite bits from Shakma right after these messages. The first message is from our sponsor of the evening, AdamEve.com. You can go to their website. You can get 50% off with our code BWPod. Now, before we talk about who wants to have better spiciness, steaminess, and sexiness, who wants to have better sex, I want to talk about something I found on the website. They started doing their fall sex fest. You can actually, Jordan, I'm looking around, I'm cruising around. You know what ball gags are?
Yeah.
It's like the thing you put in the mouth, you gag.
Yes.
Oh, you've used them. Let's do. She's like, I know exactly what they are. They have a candy ball gag, which I thought was impressive. So
interesting.
While you're gagging, at least you can chew on some delicious candy. It looks like a lollipop.
I would
material,
imagine,
but it's a ball gag. Candy ball gag. That's actually a pretty good idea. If you're into cheap thrills for the season, there's a she-devil stroker and a phantom girl stroker. So if you're thinking like, I need to get an October season, some kind of haunted gift that's also, I don't know, tantalizing, sensational, check those out. But Jordan said that she took a little spelunking. She did a little.
I did.
You hopped on the site? Did you find anything good?
Of course I did. I mean, I took your advice to type in creature, you know, and found some excellent items. I mean, this would literally bring a whole nother level to the boo baskets. So just throwing it out there for you guys who haven't done one already for your lady.
Oh, if you're doing gift bags for like your adult parties.
Or just for your boo, you know? So that's a thing. Is it boo baskets?
A boo for your boo. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
who wants better sex?
And who wants to start having better sex immediately? The best way to get started is to go to AdamEve.com right now.
Adam and Eve is offering 50% off just about any item, plus free shipping, which includes rush processing. More than that, Adam and Eve wants to make your life easy. They offer discreet shipping, as your privacy is a part of the free shipping and rush processing on your entire order. Doesn't matter how much you spend or what you buy, all the packaging, and it will be sent discreetly for free and fast.
Don't wait. Better sex is just a click away. That's 50% one item, free shipping with rush processing. Bring more pleasure and satisfaction into the bedroom.
Just go to AdamEve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy or anything you desire. Just enter offer code BWPOD at checkout. That's BWPOD, BWPOD at AdamEve.com.
This exclusive offer is specific to our podcast audience, so be sure to use our code BWPOD to get your discount, 100% free shipping, and get it fast. With rush, it's hard for me to say that word, rush processing. That means a speedy processing of your order, which is actually true. I did it the other day, and it works. Code BWPOD. Gentlemen across the nation, I have an urgent message for you. This episode is brought to you by Manscaped, the brand that took your balls to space, is now launching them into the ultrasphere, introducing the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, featuring a new cutting-edge design and next-generation dual skin-safe blade for different shaves. It's pretty much a spaceship to take your boys downstairs to the next level. Join 9 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the brand new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with our code BWPOD. It's high tech for low places at Manscaped. I pretty much love, like, I have most of their products, actually. I got a kit. I have the underwear of all things. I have I got a handyman, which is like the new, like, on-the-go shaver. I have the crop dusters, to keep things fresh when I'm traveling. I got a lot of. I mean, hey, I don't want to scare anybody. Hey, I want to be appropriate and perfect all the time. But I do believe every man knows how scary it can be when you're going for that close shave below the waist. But I do and have gotten used to trusting Manscaped for my sensitive areas. No nicks, no razor burns. Yeah, no unusual side effects. I'm lucky that I got to try out some of the lawnmowers before, but the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is a game changer. It's a 5th generation trimmer. It has 2 next-gen interchangeable skin-safe blade heads, a standard trimmer for taking a little bit off the top, and a new foil blade to go that smooth finish wherever your heart desires. No more wet shaving. You can count me in. This bad boy features dual LED spotlights to provide contrast in multiple skin tones so you can shed more light on your darkest places. We're talking on the go. They got you covered. This puppy comes with a travel case and a travel lock feature to avoid any accidental powering or weird looks in the airport. That's right. It's on the cutting edge of cutting pubes. Upgrade your ball trimmer and your life will follow. You can get 20% off plus that free shipping with our code BWPOD at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code BWPOD at manscaped.com. Your balls have been through enough. It's time to go ultra with Manscaped. And now, back to the podcast, already in progress with Jordan Savage and Johnny Spoiler. We're talking about our favorite bits from this killer monkey movie, Shakma.
Yes. Okay, let's see. Some of the favorite bits.
She's what is he going to say today?
No, just Typhoon, man, did it for me. I was so, it is actually a scary movie because I think about this baboon. The monkey rage, because this monkey is actually angry and trying.
Yeah, they made him really angry. He's not acting. He's a method guy. He's just really pissed.
And I just imagine how terrifying that would be. Even, obviously the cast had minimal interaction with him, but thinking of myself in that.
Baboons, so they didn't even reward the guy for an 18-hour shooting day. You know what I'm saying?
What else does a baboon want? System? Yeah.
What does he want? Good question. We don't. Well, actually, I mean, his brain was in the story of the movie. Okay, his brain was manipulated, so we don't know. Once he's a rage monkey, we don't really know who his motivation, except for they broke something inside his brain. Well, before that, he wants what every monkey wants, right? Freedom, food, a female monkey,
a female companion. And then that's also kind of where I grapple with it. I'm like, okay, obviously this is super devastating because pretty much everybody dies, right? Spoiler alert.
Oh, damn, spoiler alert.
Sorry.
I wasn't going to go there. I was going to talk around it. You just dropped it. There's no way to talk around it now. But I literally said earlier, I was like, I was going to say everybody dies. There are twists. There are twists that make this movie brutal towards the end, and it does have a decent body count. But Jordan just literally told you
body count.
Everybody dies. But everybody dies.
This is what I grapple with. And I'm like, okay, so is this an animal testing? They're clearly testing, science on him if they're injecting his brain with certain types of chemicals to make him more aggressive or less aggressive. But I'm like, okay, this baboon is not here against his, he's not in the wild, he's here against his will.
Okay, so here's the weird thing. Roddy McDowall's professor character is forgetful, makes mistakes, has screwed up the monkey surgery. One wonders if they're experimenting on perhaps improving mental clarity or brain performance in humans or Alzheimer's or something. Because I for a while thought that Roddy McDowall was playing somebody that had some issues because he wasn't altogether there as the professor.
Right.
So is he just a classic nutty professor or is there something to that? And I thought they were going to reveal why he made a mistake, but I don't recall the story even really going into the background, of why they're doing the experiments. They don't really
go into it at all. Yeah, they just kind of
it's a plot device. It's we screwed up. We flipped a killer switch in the monkey.
Totally. Yeah. Well, and it's just
that was a big spoiler. I can't believe.
Sorry, I don't know. Yeah. For all that we know.
That means you must like the movie because if you drop a spoiler, that's the rule.
I did. I did. Yeah.
So we're in the ratings now. We're in the ratings.
Okay. I will rate it.
You can tell your favorite bits, but then we're at the binge now, binge later, binge never. Yeah.
segue. Okay, I would say binge now. There are some jumps by this monkey, Shakma, that just are absolutely terrifying. I had a raised heart rate the entire time. It was, if you want a little like late 80s, 90s nostalgia, like this will do it for you. So binge now for me.
Okay. It's a binge later for me, but I feel like if you're trying to complete a killer monkey movie list, it's in your pile for sure. This and Monkey Shines and Congo, but Congo's really more about apes. They don't have tails, so they're not technically monkeys, but they're all the same to me anyway. It's in that same pile of movies. But I wish the first hour of the movie went as well or as paced like the last 25 minutes.
Makes sense.
Because the main guy, dude, is losing his mind by the end of the movie. So you have a building filled with people that Jordan has already told you have been taken out. Brutal.
One at a time.
The monkey's eating their throats. He went back to snack on a face. That was actually my favorite bit. He goes back later on for a midnight snack and
for Bradley.
He's eating Richard's face or whatever.
Richard, that's what it is. Yeah.
But then the main character like snaps and thinks he's really playing D&D because he warriors up at the end of the movie, and he's actually just totally like lost his damn mind.
Well, he was trying to play the hero in the game, and that kind of got robbed of him because there's no princesses left to save. So
every princess, spoiler alert, every princess gets eaten in this movie.
Yes.
I guess that could be interpreted incorrectly. Not in a good way, not in a sexy way. It's like dinner time. The monkey is devouring people. He gets a taste for blood early on in the movie, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes into the movie, and then it's all hell breaks loose. Fan service?
Fan service.
Yeah. I don't know. So it's like a tie. You say binge now, I say later. But obviously, it's on everybody. You should watch it. Anyway. I did not think Jordan was going to like it this much. It was pretty fun. Pretty fun. Discovery.
That's a good one.
And now we know she's afraid of monkeys. Won't be going to Myanmar anytime soon.
I watched enough of Fatal Attractions to know I don't mess with monkeys. So.
Let's see. What are the fans up to? Arthur Chapman says, your podcast episodes are so funny to listen to at family dinners. Jordan had said the other week that she was at this family dinner where they're like, oh, you do a podcast. What's it about? And we talked about it might be awkward to bring it up at a family dinner or a dinner with friends of friends. You don't really know. Was there a guy named Arthur at that table?
No.
Artie boy? Okay.
No Artie.
So he just listened and thought it was also funny to bring it up at a family dinner. That's cool. Patricia Shelton. My humor is broken after this. Now, if we just take it at face value and it's a little bit toxic or insulting, we could say, like, she doesn't think we're funny at all, and she hated our last sexy episode about the dogs don't wear pants movie. That's the one the comment is on. However, I thought maybe we just showed her what true comedy should be.
Right.
Wasn't ready for it.
This is life-changing or... Yeah. There's no more humor left in your life. No more humor left. We ruined it.
Okay. Staff picks. If you watched a movie that you want to recommend to the audience that isn't the movie of the week, what is that movie?
You
got some?
Yeah, I did. I watched Cargo on Netflix. I think it's a newer one. Takes place in Australia. It's a zombie movie. So of course, pandemic broke out. Zombies are on the loose, and I will say
you're gonna try to around the plot, aren't you?
I am, because I do like it. I will say, like 20 minutes into the movie, you're like, wait, what? Like, how is there 40 minutes? Like almost like 40 minutes to an hour left.
You're like, what's the rest of the movie going to be about?
Yeah, you're like, how is there more movie when they just did this? And there is more movie
based on a short film.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's a short film. It's good though. It has it does something different with the zombie genre. So yeah,
definitely. Oh, I did like the transformation of the zombie as well. If that's what you're referring to.
Oh yeah, they're good looking. No, I'm referring to like. The main,
no, they're not good
main
looking.
Plot point, but
no. But the zombies, yeah, I do like that you actually see, like, kind of start to finish somebody transform into the zombie, or how they transform into a zombie in this one, in this plot. But yeah, I did watch that. That was pretty good. Watch Malevolent Is that what it is? With Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh's my girl right now. I really like her. So that was a pretty gory, spooky one. So I think that one's also on Netflix. But yeah,
is that a new one? Because I only she's like in Midsummer.
Yeah, well,
there's a new one called Malevolent. I don't know that one.
It's about, essentially they are faking being mediums or like, a medium service.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I did hear about this one.
Yeah, and then they go to this big, massive manor, and obviously it goes wrong.
We're going to run into real ghosts. Here we go. I watched a movie that's scary as hell. It's definitely for the haunted season. It's a classic horror movie called Kate and Leopold. It's got Meg Ryan and Hugh Jackman, Liev Schreiber, Breckin Meyer, Natasha Lyonne, and Bradley Whitfield. You've seen this one?
No, but
you've seen this Kate and Leopold?
Sounds like a great cast.
A true thriller. No, it's a rom-com.
I had a feeling.
And but it involves time travel, and the actual time travel phenomenon is actually a pretty creative device. It's a weather-based phenomenon. So I thought that was a pretty interesting way to time travel. I haven't seen that done in another movie. And if there's another movie out there, forgive me, but this is the first example that I've seen of a weather-based earthly phenomenon causing time travel. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Where does it rank as rom-coms? Somewhere, if it was binge now, binge later, binge never. I'd made fun of the movie before. I made fun of it again. I was like doing one of those things like where the meme is like the opposite of what you're saying. I was spreading it around like saying it was a horror movie. I like Breckin Meyer. You see him in a lot of things, but he's not like one of the main guys usually. So he plays a supporting cast member in this. You've seen him, guys. If you saw him, he's friends with like Seth Green and those type actors. So, I mean, everybody has seen him, but nobody really knows him. You know what I'm saying? He's like one of those guys in that thing.
One of the ones in the group. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of stuff from the early 2000s. And I think he was one of the main attorneys in Franklin and Bash, which is a show he was in with, Mark, what's his name? The guy who played Zach on Saved by the Bell. Damn, his name's escaping me. Sorry, dude. The guy who played Zach, his name is escaping me, but Breckin Meyer was in that attorney show recently. What are we going to do next on this show, folks? We're going to keep you entertained if you keep coming back. We're going to do a Halloween episode. The official Halloween episode, I think, falls on next week's show. And we're going to go cruising into a thing called Deadly Manor. The description on Google and Rotten Tomatoes and Amazon is 3 travel-weary couples take refuge in a mansion where lust and murder rule. I was trying to pick like a super sleazy straight-to-video movie, and this has been on my list to get to. It has a bit of a reputation, but we'll see. We'll see how sleazy it is and how much murder there is. We'll find out.
Always the lust and the murder.
I've said murder like 4 times in this episode, so I don't know. Yeah. I'm looking for something. I can't find it. I want to talk about Halloween season and curses. We tried to record this episode about 17 times tonight.
Yes, it only took us 45 minutes to get started.
We had computers crashing. We had microphones busting. We had internet breaking. We had all kinds of Halloween-related swirling cyclone ghosty stuff happening.
If it could happen, it did happen. But we made it.
We made it. And that's all there is to it. You're gonna go home tonight and you're gonna dream about candy ball gags and Hamburglarette, or what did you say it was called?
I forget. It was like Sexy Burger Thief or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Sexy Burger Thief. That's what I'm making up for it right now.
There's just like 100 orders of that in the cart right now. Click.
Yeah, Sexy Burger Thief. Yeah.